Luisa says, what if I'm introverted and need space? Maybe I love him, but I need times apart. Well, what you want to do, Luisa, is you want to communicate this. So this is a normal thing, right? It's a normal thing. I'm an introvert. You're an introvert. There's lots of introverts out there. And sometimes introverts are in relationships with extroverts, and extroverts are like, yeah, let's be all connected all the time, right? And introverts are like, oh, I need a little bit of distance, right? And all you really have to do is communicate it. And sometimes guys don't get it though, right? If you communicate it and they're like, but you really need to be firm and set a boundary around it and just let them know that you love connecting with them and you love communicating with them and you love talking with them and you think he's a really great guy. And sometimes you need space. And you can talk about this as early as the first date or the second date or the third date, or even if you're already in a relationship together, you can talk about this and just sit them down. Because if you're pulling away and needing some space, and you can see it with women in our community and women on these YouTube videos and stuff, a lot of times they'll see a guy and a guy will need space. And so they're like pulling, and they're like freaking out about it, right? Like, oh, he must be sleeping with somebody else and he must be, doing all this other stuff. And they make up all kinds of nonsensical stories about what the guy is doing, right? Which have no basis in reality whatsoever. And so you might need some space, and that guy might start creating those same nonsensical stories about you cheating on him and doing all these other things, right? So what you want to do is you want to communicate the fact that you need space to him early on so that he understands what's going on with you. And you're just like, hey, I'm an introvert. I have this thing where I need space, right? I need time to myself because that's how I recharge. And it feels really, really great to me when I have that space. And so I just want to let you know that sometimes I'm going to need space. And if you ever need space to yourself, just let me know and I'm happy to give you space. And if I ever need space, then I'll let you know. And when I need that space, I just want to make sure that you respect that time that I need space. And you can talk about, what's normal for you, because communication is different for every single person. And so for him, it might be normal that he wants to talk to you every day. And for you, it might be normal that you want to talk every 2 days or every 3 days or every 4 days. And so you want to kind of set those expectations early on. That way he understands what's going on with you. And if there's a mismatch, he doesn't start freaking out or you don't start freaking out. And instead you guys can meet each other where you are. And if one of the two of you decides that it's not enough for you, which happens all the time, then it's better to get out of it early on than, try to drag things on and beat each other up about it and get super emotional about it and all that kind of stuff. But that's a great question, Luis. Great question for sure.